What up, Search fam? Sade here. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Sade. I'm out here curating and co-creating a cool ass life. And it's Pride Month. So I want to tell you about the queer black books that I will hopefully be reading over the month of June. Now, whether this is your first time coming across my little corner of the internet, or you keep coming back and have not hit the subscribe button, help me understand, friend. Why you ain't joined the internet family? You should definitely hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, be made aware of every time I post, which is usually on the weekends. Well, y'all, I wasn't here last week because I had been traveling, and honestly, I was exhausted from a day's travel to get back into the United States. But we here now. We here, we queer, we're blackity black. Juneteenth is this month. So I wanted to talk about some of the books that I'm just interested in reading. I think last year I gave you all suggestions on queer BIPOC books. So this year I wanted to talk about books that I'm hopefully going to get to in the month of June. So you see me looking over or down, looking at my laptop, which is where the story graph is, and my list, because I do not own most of these books. So I'd probably be getting them from Libby or Hoopla, or if they're on Kindle Unlimited, that's where we would get it from. All right. We're not going to belabor. So first, this book has been on my TBR for a while, and I found it on Hoopla because I think sometimes for me, getting book recommendations off of social media is deeply convoluted, right? And some of y'all can't be trusted. Like, I have questionable book taste, but like some of y'all's suggestions don't be great. But I love to explore and find books like in the stacks in the library. So for me, scrolling Libby and Hoopla for new books and looking at the book recommendations and all of that is one of the ways that I discover books that I want to read. So Fly With Me by Andie Burke is one of those books. And I'm probably just going to read you all of the descriptions for these books because I don't remember all of them at length, but I know I've been wanting to read them. Anyway, Fly With Me is a sparkling and steamy opposites attract romance by Andie Burke, and filled with sharp banter that is sweet, swooping feeling of finding the one when and where you least expect it. So this is a chance meeting, fake dating, sapphic, and it's centered around like meeting in an airport and traveling and things like that. I guess I won't read the whole description for most of the books, but I'll tell you sort of the themes and tropes and why I'm interested in reading them. So do with that what you will. Get on your internet browser and search it up if it sounds of interest, because I don't want us to be here for long, honestly. Next, I am going to read Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. And I read Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle, and I thought it was great. And so this is the second book that they wrote. And so Bury Your Gaze is a heart-pounding novel from best-selling author Chuck Tingle about what it takes to succeed in a world that wants you dead. I will read this one. This one is about Misha, who knows that chasing success in Hollywood can be hell. But finally, after years of trying to make it, his big moment is here, an Oscar nomination. And the executives at the studio for his long-running streaming series know just the thing to kick his career to the next level. Kill off all the gay characters for the algorithm in the upcoming season finale. Misha refuses, but he soon realizes that he's just put a target on his back. And what's worse, monsters from his horror movie days are stalking him and his friends through the hills above Los Angeles. Haunted by his past, Misha must risk his entire future before the horrors from the silver screen find a way to bury him for good. Very excited about this because I think I've been in the mood for horror, right? So we gonna see how that goes. But I enjoyed, again, Camp Damascus, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next is Finding Prince Charming by Jamar J. Perry. And so this is a swoon-worthy YA romance. It is Achillean. So that means it's two male characters. So this is about a teenage boy, Tyreek, who finds himself accidentally fake dating a crown prince. And so this is Prince, who's in the closet but hiding himself as this random boy to be his date for a gala, and come find out the boy is a prince. And so now this Tyreek is caught in this whirlwind of what all it means to be dating this guy that he did not know was royalty, all these things. I think it'll be super cute. You've heard me talk about this book before, but I think I'm actually going to try to get to it this month, and that's Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. And this is a part of the Dark Star trilogy. And so this is about Tracker, who is known far and wide for his skills as a hunter. He has a nose, people say, engaged to track down a mysterious boy who disappeared 3 years earlier. Tracker breaks his own rules of always working alone when he finds himself part of a group that comes together to search for the boy. The band is a hodgepodge full of unusual characters with secrets of their own, including a shape-shifting man animal known as Leopard. As Tracker follows the boy's scent from one ancient city to another into dense forests and across deep rivers, he and the band are set upon by creatures intent on destroying them. As he struggles to survive, Tracker starts to wonder who really is the boy, why he has been missing for so long, why do so many people want to keep Tracker from finding him, and perhaps the most important question of all, who is telling the truth and who is lying? Drawing from African history and mythology and his own rich imagination, Marlon James has written a novel unlike anything that has come before it. A saga, breathtaking adventure that's also an ambitious and involving read. Okay, so it's a long book, and I've had it on my bookshelf for a while. So I think I'm going to at least start it as an audiobook because I will be doing some more traveling during June. So I try to keep my belongings to a minimum. So we'll see how I like it. Next, I saw this book called Splinters by Jasper Hyde, and it's a reimagining of Sleepy Hollow, but make it black. And so this is the legend of Sleepy Hollow reborn in a small town hidden behind the hills of New York. There, things are far from ordinary. As Sleepy Hollow's youngest medical examiner, the pressure intensifies for Dr. Drusilla Von Tassel when the headless bodies of her sister Katrina's friends start surfacing. Meanwhile, Drusilla's ex-lover Ichabod Crane returns to town, dredging up feelings better left buried. Things take a turn for the worst when Drusilla comes face to face with the Headless Horseman, who is back to settle old scores, and she and her sister are the perfect targets. Drusilla can repel the Horseman with an unknown power, but her sister isn't lucky and she goes missing. However, when Drusilla discovers Ichabod is a monster hunter, she has no other choice but to turn to him for help, even if that means working with a man she feels an inexplicable attraction to. Will they find Katrina and banish the Headless Horseman once and for all? So, again, it sounds good. Next, I'm going to try to get to Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. And this is about a PhD student which I do love that trope as someone who has a PhD. So Grace Porter goes on a girls trip to Vegas to celebrate her newly completed PhD, and then drunkenly marries a woman whose name she doesn't know. And so this is sort of an opposites attract, sapphic, I guess, continued mishap marriage of convenience type thing. So I'm excited to read this one because I've heard good things about it a long time ago. Next, I will be continuing to read and hopefully finish Another Country by James Baldwin. And I've talked about this before. I'm doing work around Baldwin. And so I started it, and it is about these four sort of intersecting characters in New York and in Europe, I think Paris particularly, and how they are involved with one another, as well as sort of the intricacies of the intersections of race, class, and sexuality, and how and even interracial sort of relationships in the 40s and 50s. sort of coalesce to create these characters' lives. So I've started it so far. It's been a bit of a slow read, so hopefully it gets a little bit better. But the prose, as always, Baldwin's prose is kind of beautiful. So there's that. And I think, yeah, that'll do it, folks. That's gonna be it. I'm trying to put less books on these lists because I think I'm being a little ambitious, as always, because we'll see how my mood reading feels. But are y'all reading anything during Pride Month? Are you maybe reading a comfort read? Let me know down in the downstairs area or the comment section. And as always, friends, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.